It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Planet MFL video where we follow my journey in MFL. And as I told you last week, in last week's Planet MFL video, we're now going to start having guests. And who better than the king himself, the main man himself, David, aka SR Monkey. Welcome to Planet MFL.
Thank you very much. I feel like I should do this. It's your boy, SR Monkey.
Yes, I love it. One day, every guest will do that. One day, it will just become a sign of respect. Everyone to do the salute.
Yeah, I see it a couple of times a week on the various shows you put out, and I always think, it's quite a cool entry, but better than my intro and outro. But anyway,
I was chatting to I think Jimbo the other day, and he was telling me like, oh, I really like that. I hear it when I see you just like on X or somewhere like your name appears. I hear it, and then I was telling him like I tried to not do that at the beginning of some videos. I experimented with just a normal hey guys, and it just feels so wrong and awkward. I can't.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be right. It would feel like you're going through a massive spell of depression if you didn't start with that. You're upbeat. You start with a high. Everyone would think, oh my god, he's had a death in the family or something.
If ever I don't start a video like that, just please write videos saying, are you okay? Just please someone just check on me because something's gone wrong. So yeah, this is the new style of me doing these Planet MFL videos. I'm still going to be reviewing how my season's going every week, showing you my results, any key news in MFL. But I also just want to get another manager on so we can do the exact same with them, give a little update from them. How's their season going? Also a chance for me to get to know managers better because I've never interviewed people before. Like before this Premier League season, all my content was solo. It was just me on my own. And then since my Monday So Rare show, I've really enjoyed getting to chatting to people, getting to know people. And you're like one of the
fun. They're fun to listen to, those shows as well. But I really enjoy them.
Yeah, and speaking of those shows, I think I've got Kev next week. So another alumni of the Ramble, it will be on next week. So stay tuned to that Monday, guys. If you're into So Rare, this is MFL content. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Don't take the bridge. But David, one of the things, like, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, right? But I think you are the best host out there. I mean,
oh, you're too kind. But
like with me just starting, I've kind of been watching like the Wendocast, you guys, even other types of gaming shows, and looking for like inspiration. And I just really like the way you like are professional, the way you just keep things on topic, but you're also fun. You pay respect to the guest, and every guest you pay respect for in a really nice way. And yeah, I'm learning from you. I really like how you do it. Is it tricky, especially because you have 4 people speaking sometimes? Is it tricky sort of balancing it all and keeping everyone happy and speaking?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's easier with like, if there's only ever one, or like if it's just me and another person, obviously that's way easier. But when there's loads of people, not really. I mean, I would prefer them more conversational, like everybody asking each other questions. But the trouble is, when you're doing that on a sort of a podcast or a video stream, you get too many people talking over each other. But I do like it when sort of, people interrupt people because they've got like something to say and stuff like that. But so I just want it to feel like it's a few people having a chat. And people don't always stop before the next person starts.
Yeah.
So, that's, the way I sort of always envisioned them running. But it takes time. Like we've been going for what, I guess coming on to a year now with like the MFL Ramble. And I think it was like November or December when we started doing it. But,
wow.
and I guess like you build up a bit of banter. Like we built up banter. Like Hatton, obviously, he's more focused on So Rare at the moment. He still dabbles with like MFL. But we had a bit of banter with him, and we have like sort of in jokes and little sort of digs at each other. But it takes time to build up that chemistry when you're doing it. It's quite difficult when it's just like a new person every week, I imagine, because you don't know how they'll react, take the piss. But yeah. I mean, I have to wear so many different hats. Like I've got one here. I've got another one here.
Wow.
But I don't have the hat for the show we're on. So,
come on, MFL, help him out. Get a hat. Just get it sorted. Send us both one. Come on. Has it always been
more merch?
Yeah. Has it always been the four of you, or was there anyone else?
No, I mean there was five of us really. There was Smoggy, although he's only been on sort of 3 or 4 because he works during the day.
Okay.
Then obviously Hoodwink, Kev, and Hatton. Yeah. So
And
that's how we started out, and then we tried to get one guest on each week, but it's difficult. Like we would love to get, I know Hoodwink especially would love to get a different like guest that people have never heard from before on there. That's why we tried to get Sid on recently. Now he's been on a couple of times. We got you on when you just started doing sort of like more MFL stuff.
Yeah.
Was that last season? Yeah, it was last season.
Yeah,
wasn't
last
it?
season.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, you were doing content, but you weren't massively known within the MFL circle then. But in this week we tried to get sort of new people on, but it's so tough because if people don't have mics and they don't have great internet, then it makes it tough to sort of like do stuff. And we love people dropping in. Like last week on the stream, it was great when Bob dropped in.
Oh yeah.
But it causes chaos, and I think that was more down to the setup with like stacking people. It was just like my brain was fried by the end of that.
It was part of the fun though. That was a fun stream, and it was part of the fun. People just dropping in. It was like a bar. It was like, oh, so and so's here. Come on, pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Pull up a chair.
Well, that's what I like it to be like. Yeah, but yeah.
That's cool. And how did you guys like meet? How did you decide to group together? Did you all know each other pre?
No. Hoodwink I've known the longest, I think. I've known him since another project, like not really a Web3 project, but it was another football game that we played probably, I don't know, 7 years ago now. And so I remember seeing his name on like leaderboards and stuff like that. And then I started doing a podcast with somebody, and, we just like, I didn't know him well, but I knew of him. And then I met him a couple of times. I met him at a Sorare meetup, probably, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago now, one that John Nellis organised. Yeah. And then I met him another time at another Sorare meetup as well. So I have met Hoodwink a couple of times, and he's such a lovely guy. I haven't met Kev or Hatton.
Wow, really? I just assumed you guys all met loads.
No, Kev, well, obviously Kev's in Scotland, but Hatton is only down in near Gatwick. He's not far away at all. And Kev flew into Gatwick. I think he arrived yesterday afternoon, and he's got some business sort of around London, and he's meeting Hatton at the airport for a couple of hours for a drink before he gets his flight back on Friday.
Nice.
I would love to have come down and met them, but it's just tough for me doing a lot of stuff at the moment for health reasons. But we will organise something eventually. But I'd love to meet them. They're great guys. But
yeah. Definitely.
And then obviously they all came into the Discord, and we got to know each other better through that. But
I love it. I love the origin stories. I like to get to know my guests a little bit, and this is a question I've been asking a lot of people recently coming on the show. What's your favorite comedy show or film? Just so I know a bit about your taste.
I've got like a rotation of 3 or 4 comedies that I constantly cycle through. At the moment, I'm rewatching The American Office.
Oh, you're a man after my own heart here.
The first series, absolutely shocking. And that put me off watching it for like years.
Same.
And then I've got back into it. And once you get past that first series, which essentially is a rip-off, completely, nearly down to the same scenes as the British Office, once you get past that, the second season is just brilliant. I'm just loving rewatching that. Parks and Recreation.
Oh, nice.
Is on there. Veep is one that I love watching. A little bit more sweary. Oh no, I love it. It's about American
one, right? Yeah.
It is, yeah. But politics is honestly, it's like the last thing. It's just like people being rude to each other and taking the piss out of each other. And what else? Parks and Rec. New Girl.
Oh, yeah, that's a great show.
Never thought I would get into, and now I've rewatched that millions of times. And again, I just thought at the start it was going to be sort of like a bit of a girly comedy, but it isn't. Like, honestly, there's so few comedies that actually make me crack up, and that is one of them as well. But yeah, those are the main ones. But there's loads. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, I'm more US comedy focused, I think. Like UK comedy, I don't find quite funny. I hate canned laughter as well.
Oh yeah, no.
I think if you're telling me how to laugh, telling me when to laugh, then surely it's not funny. Surely I should know it's going to be funny and laugh.
I find it
so
depressing.
why are you laughing for me?
Yeah. I find it really depressing to not laugh and hear other people laughing, especially if it's like in one of those shows where it's constant canned laughter. I just find it depressing to be like, well, what are they laughing at? Why am I not laughing and they are? Like, are they having a better time than me? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. And I think loads of still loads of American comedies do that, and like British comedies, and it just winds me up. It's
Yeah.
like, just put something on. If it's funny, I'll laugh. You don't need to tell me it's funny.
Yeah. Spot on, spot on. Right. Let's dig into some juicy MFL. So, on last week's video, I was giving people an update. We were, I think, just towards the end of the cup. So I was saying that like I'm doing much better in ice than I expected. My expectations were I want to stay up. I'd like a mid-table finish. I think I was projected mid-table, slightly higher than mid-table. And last week we were second. We're still second. And the cup's gone. We have third in the cup, so we were 2 points off. Annoyingly, we drew to Quito, who finished second. If we hadn't drawn that, we'd have beaten them. Ifs, but the silver linings I'm thinking is now I can just concentrate in the league. I didn't really have the squad for the cup, so I do have a fairly good depth for the league. So we're going for the league. MFC Schalke are only 3 points behind them, all to play for. And annoyingly, my defeats have come quite recently. Once was against MFC Schalke. That was a kind of top of the table clash where we were level on points. They sort of nicked it. Was it 1-0? They beat me 1-0. And then this defeat came against a team who were fourth. That was a bit more convincing. That was 1-0 as well. So we've only narrowly lost our games, and we're looking good. We're sort of second. And with the cup to focus, the cup was a bit of a distraction, I think. Kind of cost us a few points in this game. We couldn't play. What's your take on the cup, David? Like when you're in a position like this where you're doing better than you think in the league, would you sacrifice the cup, or would you see what I did and just see if the B team can kind of get by?
I want it all. I want it all the time.
Yeah.
Every season, I always run my best team in the cup to start with. And then if things start going to beep, then there you go. I beeped it in for you. And then I'll sort of move my focus. This season, I've got the most teams I've ever got through in the cup. And
nice.
I think that's down to me actually finding a tactic that works consistently. Like in the last probably 4 or 5 days, I managed to hit on something and it seems to be working. And that's how. But yeah, you're doing brilliantly. Second in the league. You were on equal points, I think, last time I looked. At the Amreezy, because I was obviously checking in to see how one or two of my players were doing.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, I've not seen your latest MFL ramble. I've got it in one of my tabs open, but the title struck a nerve with me where you say it was like, is training even working or something? And progression for me has been very slow this season. Only 2 in +2. And I think your boys, Castro, the Mexican midfielder, he's gone up by 2 passing. And we've not seen anything from left back Morley. So yeah,
Morley, I think is probably, he's probably
done with his progression
past his prime age. Yeah, he doesn't look like that kind of man. He goes in for a while and surprises. Maybe he's a late bloomer. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting him. Castro is one I'd love to see progress. He has been getting some couple of passing, so he must be quite close to jumping to 74. But yeah, he looks so angry and like,
I really feel like he's given us some nice steel in midfield. So many highlights I start with him breaking up the play and then moving it across, or he's a really versatile player. I'm playing him in CDM sometimes, CM sometimes, and he's a really fun player. So I love that he's my only Mexican player as well. So he's a local. In terms of performance, I think he's been doing quite well. I think for a CDM, I feel like anything above 7 is quite good.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've just been distracted because I don't know whether you noticed, but Yak's dropped an update. I don't know whether it was like this morning or last night. And now we've got heat maps and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It throws me off when I go and look at them like in the thing. I'm like, oh my God.
Is it heat maps on the site?
Pardon?
Is it on the site heat maps now?
Yes, but
Where
it's
do we
not
see
on for.
those?
I don't know whether it's on for older games, but it's definitely on. Like if you
Uh,
look at like recent games, then you get the heat maps now when you go in there. Like I've run a couple of friendlies and they've got them on there. I don't know whether when they introduced it or whether it's
that's
oh,
a it's
maybe
a
it's going down now.
maybe
It's
it'll be for
strange.
future
It's
games.
definitely there earlier because I was actually looking through it at my players, trying to work out like what I could do to change a couple of things.
Hmm.
Strange, it was there earlier, but it's not now. Sorry, that threw me off. But
No worries. Yeah, I saw that update today, the heat maps, and I just thought, oh, that's brilliant. I mean, so many times when I'm making tactics, I'm going, is he staying in where I want him to stay on the pitch? Is he dropping back too much? Is he? And I think it'll be really good for testing out like width and like how deep the defense is. You'll be able to actually see. Okay, I can visually see it. I think for me, especially like if I'm a visual person, if I can see the defense are there, the wingers are actually there. The cam he keeps dropping too far back. I need to tweak his instructions, and that's a great feature. Love it.
that's weird. It's not there now because before I could definitely it was definitely there and I could go and check because some of the ones I was checking, but it isn't. Unless I'm being an absolute buffoon, which is entirely possible.
Maybe you were just the only person they were testing it on. They were just they didn't give you a cap, but they gave you heat maps early. So that's the
They knew. I don't think because when it came up, I thought, did I mention that in the ramble? Because I literally had it written down somewhere that I asked for heat maps on MFL, but I
yeah
don't think I spoke about it anywhere.
yeah
So maybe they've just come up with it because heat maps. I love them in football. Like generally,
yeah
like I love seeing like people will tell me it's like, oh, this guy's playing as a number 9, up front, and I'll be like, is he okay? And then I'll go and have a look at the data, and I'll like, actually look, he's playing on the right side. He's not playing like as a 9. Or if he is
yeah
playing as a 9, he's moving around a hell of a lot and playing more on the wing. But I always find that sort of stuff quite interesting.
yeah, and I think a lot of I was watching highlights and trying to guess a lot where like is it just me or are those CDMs getting too far forward or is it me just me or is that winger moving to the other wing too much? And I just think heat maps it kind of takes that out. It takes a lot of that out. I think it'll be a big game changer. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, trying to work out formations, and I don't know, like seeing you can easily look about how other people are playing, like how other styles are being played and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
guess a question for you is with your Amreezy boys this season, have you got like set tactics that you use? Like you're playing like 4-3-3 defensive. I think if I remember rightly, you can play a 4-4-3-3 attacking as well.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just basically going from 4-3-3 attack to 4-3-3 defense.
And you
Depending
use
on
exactly the same default sort of team instructions and everything.
yeah, I mean the defense one is slightly different. Like just because I let the CMs kind of bomb forward a bit more because they've got a bit more protection, whereas in this one they have to be a lot more, hold back a lot more. Apart from that, I think it's pretty much similar instructions for everyone else. So I'm not tweaking with things that much. I'm basically just, yeah, if it's a tougher game or if it's against the player, I want to be more responsible in defense. Or also if I want to rest my cam because he's kind of the only good one, 78 rated. He's my best player. But I don't think his physicals are that great. He doesn't seem to last, 45 physical. So he doesn't play as many games as sort of the other players. So we rest him by changing the formation as well because my backup cams aren't great. So
Oh yeah, 45 physical hurts. I mean, it doesn't
yeah.
hurt like I've got a winger who's roughly the same physical and is in his last year before retirement. And
Oh.
honestly, like he's the worst one I've had so far. Like I can only play him like once every 3 games because it takes him so long to recover. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, that's my kind of A team. The second team, reserves are they're doing okay. It's a bit of the opposite story, really. They are going for the cup, so we finished top of the group in the cup. Only won 3 games, which is a bit of a surprise. I think everyone else, just none of the other teams, kind of went for it as much. So top of the group there, and in the league, we're sort of we're in with a shout. I think we could scrape a second or third finish. These guys, Cobra United, they're very good. I can't remember who their manager is, but he was in the. It's not that, but whoever wrote my video last week, this is his wife's team, and I played them in the cup and the league. It was really weird. Have you ever had this before, David, where you play the same team in the cup and then the same team in the league the very next game?
Funny enough, I've never had it until this season, and this season I got matched up against, like in my main team, Monkey Magic, got matched up against, like, I think 2 of the teams in my group were exactly the same as
Whoa.
like teams in my group in the thing. So literally, I've had to play them. I think there was once where I played 2 teams back to back. Sorry, 1 team back to back, and then another team exactly the same back to back. But yeah, that was a bit weird. But it's the first time it's ever happened. But I guess it happens. It's more likely to happen the higher up you go. But in Flint, I'm surprised it happened.
Yeah, I just assumed it would never happen, and this far down, Flint, Spark even.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting because you kind of go like, oh, are they going to go for the league more? Are they going to go for the cup more? And then once you've had one game, you kind of get an idea of what they're going to do for the second game. And yeah, it was interesting.
So you got a bit of action then, sort of after the break. So, in cup wise, which is always fun.
Yeah. Especially in the Flint as well, where this is the reserve team. So it feels a bit more like they're a bit more of a throwaway team. They're a bit more just have a bit of fun with them. Let players progress. All the players that don't make it at AFC Amreezy, they're all here. So,
would you want this team to get promoted?
Yeah, like especially because it's Mexico City. I would like this to be my main actual team because it's in Mexico City. I'd like that to be my best team, but because they're in Flint and the other one's in Ice now, it might take a while for the balance to shift. But yeah, it's not a super priority. I obviously want them to do as good as they can. If they get promoted, it'd be amazing. But yeah, they're more just a bit of fun. This team, I don't lose sleep over this one.
You have to hit me up at the start of next season, and I will find some guys that
nice.
improve it, help you up.
Yeah.
But yeah, not overpowered guys. But if you stay in Flint, and I've got so many limited cards now that definitely some in sort of the 60s that will help the team sort of, maybe get up to Spark, and then you can sort of like move it along a bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I think next season, because I did expect me to just do really bad, and I've done better than I thought. So I didn't really loan ambitiously. I kind of just loaned 0% players that wanted 10 games, and I was like, yeah, you'll get 10 games. But I think knowing now that they're better than I think if I loan a bit more seriously next year, then we can get them promoted, I think, because the competition's not that great. And if these guys get promoted, I think, yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, no, I think low 60s will get you out of Flint.
So I've switched over now. That's my update. That's how my teams are doing. David, now I've always wondered this, whether a person who owns as many clubs as you, is it like, do you care about them all the same, or is it like the higher league one you care about the most, and it gradually the care kind of trickles down?
I mean, it's only 7 teams. I'm not like Ron John or Trust the Process with their sort of like, huge amounts of teams. I think I was just when I went out for a walk early, and I was listening to the end of Wendirk this week, and Trust the Process bought another club on stream.
Oh, wow.
So he's like,
he can't help himself.
Was it 92 or something? But yeah, he's like an absurd number that just fries my brain. And most days I'm fine looking after 7 because once you've got everything settled towards this time of the season, I know who I'm playing in what games and stuff like that. Just, it's quite easy. But yeah, so it's not too bad looking after 7 teams. In terms of like, I want to earn as much MFL as possible. So I always spend more time focusing in on like Monkey Magic and Funky Monkey.
Yeah.
And, and then when I find sort of tactics that work for me, they sort of filter down throughout the rest of the teams, because all of my teams play a very similar style. They all play 4-3-3 defensive, 4-3-3 attacking, and then some of the teams can play like lots of formations, and some of them are really sort of rigid, and that's the only ones they can play.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Monkey Magic is the main team, and that's the one. Funky Monkey as well. But yeah,
Funky Monkey is my favorite logo. I love the Funky Monkey logo.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I put Funky Monkey. I think I was just looking as a holder, and then I put it in and did the logo, and I thought, actually, I really like that badge. I'm going to have to keep it as Funky Monkey now.
Are the locations of the clubs just random, whatever you see available at the time, or did you pack them, or is there a plan with the locations as well?
I have packed a few of them. Yeah, I packed Monkey Magic. That was my first club. Packed that. Couldn't really think of anything sort of like around sort of Colombia. Iron as well. Oh no, I bought that one. Funky Monkey, that was another one I did. And then Monkey Fire, I also minted as well.
Okay.
I bought Monkey Thunder, I bought Monkey Kings, and then the bottom two as well. I think I minted. And then by the time it got to the other ones, I was really struggling with stuff. So Monkey Vikings was because it was a Finnish club, and
Yeah, I love that.
Nordic, and then the Monkey Matadors, because it was Spain. But I can't really I couldn't really think of anything sort of with the same with them. And then I tried to name the stadiums as well. I always like sort of having a bit of fun with that, like so Monkey Vikings Pet, Thor's Garden, stuff like that. But
And you said you changed your tactics recently, and now it's working better for you. Is that like you changed the formation, or was that just like player instructions and things like that?
no, I mean, I think that any formation can do well against any formation if you've got the optimal team instructions and player instructions, and the other player has got completely like farcical ones. I think
Yeah.
it's possible if you're evenly balanced teams as well. Other people might disagree with me, and certainly three-back formations are a bit of a struggle this season. But yeah, no, I think I sort of hit on something that works a lot better, a lot more consistently. And, I've won, apart from when I had to rotate against one of the best teams in Silver on, I can't remember what day it was, the day before the break. I've
Yeah.
won pretty much every game recently. So yeah, it's been going pretty well in the last few
Nice.
days, but it has been a awful season, really. Like some of my lower teams are a bit overpowered, and they're certainly after the break. Like Monkey Vikings, the Kings, and the Matadors. I've strengthened with players from the two teams that have gone out of the cup. So a lot of my,
Okay. Nice.
I also got another keeper in for Monkey Magic, like a legendary keeper.
Yeah.
So keepers have now shuffled down as well. So like a couple of my teams are now way more overpowered than they were, but that's because they threw in the cup, and I just thought, well, I may as well take like players I'm not using out of teams that are not in the cup and put them in here.
So all your teams, are they all your players, or do you have any loans in like the upper clubs
And normally I would not loan in any players. This season, I think I've loaned in 4 only in Monkey Magic.
for Monkey
I think
Magic?
every other player is mine. Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cool. And
I prefer owning players. I hate like buying them in, but I don't have the budget to go out and buy. Now I'm in Silver. I don't have the budget to go out and buy like, if one of my Legos retires, I can't go out and automatically buy another Lego. So I have to sort of plan for like, get players. Like that's why all of my teams are in different levels. So I can buy a player, and if he does well and gets progression, he can move up. And it
yeah.
sort of filters all the way up. But at the moment, I'm in a bit of a shortage of the top end players. But I think Silver, probably, maybe Gold, if I get some decent progression, is probably my absolute limit in this game.
So these three clubs are all doing well in the league, all in the shout for promotion, and all in the cup next round. So that's pretty good. We're going up. We're starting from the bottom. We're going up. Monkey Fire also doing very nice in the league joint top. Undefeated. Oh, look at this. This is a nice battle here between Black Mamba and Monkey Fire. Yeah, they're just over outscoring you, but and then
No, my tactics earlier on in the season were not great at all. Like it was just dismal. I couldn't like string two results together.
I feel like I heard the same last season where you started bad, but then you just sorted it and had a really good second half of the season. You're like Everton.
I know. I don't know
always
that
pick
is
up at the end.
exactly what happened, and it has happened now for like 3 seasons on the spin, where I have absolutely dismal start to the season. I think last season in bronze with Monkey Magic, I was in the relegation zone, and then I won nearly every game the second half of the season and finished top. So yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's and that's a surprise because you're one of these. You do lots of friendlies, don't you? Lots of testing, lots of. From what I remember, I would have thought it would have been the opposite. I would have thought every season you are prepped. You've got You know your players. It's not like there's loans that you need to understand. You know your players. You do your testing. What's going
You would
wrong?
think so, wouldn't you? And I did pre-season testing. I don't do as many friendlies as some guys, because I sort of know my formations, and it's more about tweaking team instructions to find out what works. And
Ah,
so this season, I was trying something earlier on in the season which just wasn't working. Then
yeah,
I tried another way, which worked, but it was incredibly unreliable. But the matches were fun. Like it was
yeah.
just absurd games. And now I found something which seems to work and sorts a lot of problems out. Sorry, I'm being a little bit vague. I don't want to give
No, no,
too
no, no,
much.
no, no. I was thinking as you were saying it, I was like, don't say too much. Don't no, keep it, keep it, keep it.
No, I've even turned off all friendlies now. I
Oh
said, right, that's
wow.
it. I'm done for
Yeah.
friendlies now until the start of next season. But
So when you were struggling, is that how you kind of get out of your rut? Because I had a comment on last week's video of someone saying the similar thing, like my tactics just aren't working. What do I do? Have you got any advice? And it seems like you went through a sort of similar thing where I'm
yeah,
guessing people would just try different formations. But it sounds like they shouldn't do that. They should tweak instructions or different
you
players.
you can like certain formation, like this season, three back formations aren't doing well.
No, yeah.
And I think maybe if I ran a three back, I could probably do okay with it, but I don't think I'll be winning any leagues or, make it deep in cups. But I think I could get it to work reasonably well because I believe that like team instructions and player instructions can sort of offset bad tactics to a degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like what generally I do run friendlies, but I also, sound out other managers and we talk about things and talk about what's working, why it's working in this engine, you know, and if something's working well, how do you stop that working against you? And sort of thinking of it that way. Like I look at every season as sort of like a puzzle that has to be solved,
Hmm.
rather than sort of like, I want my team to play this way, free flowing possession
Yeah, yeah,
football.
yeah.
Fingers are going off and doing all this, and we're all like all attacking and stuff like that. But that might work one season. Like all out attack next season might be the way to go. Literally
Yeah.
just throw everything forward and just outscore teams. And we have absurd games and stuff like that next season. But this season, I don't know whether this season, I don't think that is necessarily if you want consistency is the way to go. So
Yeah.
it's about finding what works in a particular engine.
Yeah, and it's kind of what's so beautiful about MFL is that there is someone wrote in my video yesterday like how can you help, and I said, like you've just got to play around with it, and like your player also your formation. If I give you my formation and my instructions, you've got different players. You might not have players who are fast enough or strong enough or are good at
Exactly.
tackling.
Yeah.
And I think
That's
what's
why
what
that is one of the hard things about the game, though. For instance, like when I first started the game, 4-3-3 attacking was just so OP. You
yeah,
did so well with it. And, if you tweak the team instructions a little bit, you were pretty solid at the back as well. And that went away one season and became like really hard formation. And that I think the three back was really good. Like 3-5-2-B or something like that was just really overpowered that season.
yeah,
But like if you can still use that same formation. I think I won some divisions using that formation still, my formation, but I just had to tweak it loads. And I couldn't run, or even if I could run a 4-3-3, a 3-5-2-B, I didn't have like my crossing on the wingers or defensive on the left mid and right mid wasn't strong enough. So it wouldn't have been as
mm,
successful as somebody had like decent stats on those players. So yeah, you're exactly right. You have to sort of, I think, build a formation for the players you've got and then tweak that to try and find a way for it to work.
yeah. No, that's good advice. We're on to Monkey Thunder now. We're into Iron, sort of
Yeah,
mid-table.
Monkey Thunder. Like my top three teams, Monkey Thunder, Funky Monkey, and all got promoted last season. And
Ah,
so,
okay.
I have some okay players, like a lot of rare players, but not a lot of really high rare players now to populate. And you do need really strong teams now in Iron to sort of get like some of some of the teams in my Iron division have legendaries,
Oh,
and that
wow.
was absurd a few seasons ago, but it's just where we're at now. And there's not loads of them, but you do tend to find more when you go up from Iron to Bronze. Now you definitely need legendaries to try and get promoted. But yeah, they were a team where I really hoped I could get them through in the cup. But again, I just couldn't figure this engine out for so long that I just couldn't get it to work.
Yeah. He's having a great season, Piras.
Do you think that was the Mexican flag when you're looking at it thinking, oh, is he another Mexican player
No.
next season?
I was looking at his match rating. I was like, 7.7. Ooh, who's this?
He's my backup striker, I think. I think
really?
in that
Who's
team, Savin is the main striker. Yeah, the Russian guy right in the middle.
Ah, yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
So this team, I don't want them to get promoted, and I don't think they will anyway. It's a pretty strong division.
And how
although I did beat the cup was the annoying thing. Like because I was getting inconsistent results. I was lost to a team that I probably should have got an okay result against, and then just drew too many games, and it came down to the last game, and I couldn't get promoted couldn't go through by the last game, which is a bit annoying because that was the focus this season, the cup. But
interesting. So that's Monkey Thunder. Then we go to, I should have just gone back. Here we go. Funky Monkey in bronze. Did you say they got promoted as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys they're struggling a bit.
Yeah, it's been absolutely grim. But look at the results more recently.
Yeah, I'm seeing this. This is
where I started to work it out. I think it was like around that Laura B game where I started to sort of work out and try and get something going. Before that, it was just like win, lose. But,
and still in the cup.
But yeah, the cup wins okay.
5 wins. That's some nice MFL coming your way.
But yeah, I really want them to stay up. Like I want one team in bronze and one in silver. So I'll be a bit sad if one of the teams goes down. So I've got work to do. Yeah. You know, I've strengthened like goalies in Monkey Magic, and some players have now filtered down, so it's slightly stronger. Okay. But you know, I don't have the budget to go out and buy sort of guys, and I don't really want to get too many loans. I think I can keep them up with that, with the squad that's there now. So hopefully, I'm right.
Yeah, yesterday was pack drop day. It is the mid-season transfer window at the moment. Have you brought in many players? Have you got any new faces, or pretty much the
$20 in my Dapper wallet? It's perfect for a limited and a common pack.
Nice.
All 4 players were all young enough that they all went straight into dev jail.
Okay. At least they were young.
Yeah.
And then this is the main one. Also, I'm curious, when you have a game, what order do you watch the highlights in? If they all happen, or is it staggered?
Monkey Matadors, I don't really care about. That's an early game. So generally I'll watch that before I have my dinner.
Okay.
So I think that's like 7:15 or 7:20 or something like that.
Yeah.
So generally I'll watch that one, then I'll go and have my dinner, and then I'll come back to my PC at sort of like 9:15. Then I'll sort of go through quickly Vikings, Kings, and the Fire. Then I'll watch the Monkey Thunder, Funky Monkey, and Monkey Magic games, like just the highlights. But I'll watch the full games.
Yeah,
I'm watching them on afterwards. Like I'm not watching them live.
Yeah, that's how I do it. So Monkey Magic are sort of in a similar position to Funky Monkey, I guess. 10th in the league. Cup still.
They've definitely got a bit more work to do.
Cup dream still going.
Yeah, like the inconsistency, like in the cup, there was a game where there was 2 games. One game where I was leading and lost the game. Like I think with one formation I had like a week or so ago. Another game, I think it might have been that one, Super Skill.
And this is you playing the same team in the league and the cup next to each other.
Yes, here. Yeah. And then, there was another game that I drew, like the final game, the game against DFC Misfits Nice, like a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, I was winning that 2-0, and like some obscure, I don't know what happened. I just caved it towards the end.
Oh, no.
So if I'd won that, then I wouldn't have had to rotate. I could have rotated in the final game.
Yeah.
So it was a bit more annoying. And because I had to rotate in the final game, it meant I had to play my really weakest side against in the league. And I got absolutely panned by like Dublin City.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of work to do there. I really want to stay in silver. So I brought another keeper in. Like if you look in my squad for this team, one of my my best keeper, Mohammed.
So good they named him twice.
Yeah, he's
Oh
not
wow.
Mohammed. I call him Mohammed Matt. You know, he's a great keeper. I bought him for $150 as a legendary keeper a couple of seasons
Yeah.
ago, just before his retirement icon came up. And I thought, if it comes up, I don't mind. $50 a season, I can live with that.
Yeah.
And it did come up anyway. And so this is his swan song. And I was just hoping, because he was a goalkeeper, I'd be able to play him a bit more often. And his fitness goes down slowly enough where you can play him, but it
Yeah.
takes so bloody long to go up. So
Ah.
I loaned in today this guy Van Bergen, who's 86 as well.
86, nice.
Because my backup before that, I think, was 82 or 83 rated, which doesn't cut it in silver. So now I've got a much stronger sort of like setup for the back end of the season. I think he's a fresh mint as well. So how old is Van Bergen again? Click on
Bergen
there.
was 25.
25. So there's a chance that he get a bit of progression as well back into the season. You never know, because he's a brand new car.
Brand new.
Looks like he was minted last night.
Very nice. Very nice.
So maybe he gets a bit of progression, you know. Then I've got two decent keepers, make a little bit of run. But yeah, they're through in the cup as well. But it's going to be tough. Like, you know, I want to stay up.
Yeah.
I also want to win the cup.
If you could choose, would it be worth a relegation if you won the cup?
Click on the cup thing again and go through to view more. I can't remember how much. I think it's a decent amount for winning it. Yeah, 97. You know, that's two more rare packs.
Yeah.
I guess winning the cup would be amazing, and then, you know, I could sacrifice the league for one season, because if I win bronze next season, that's about the same as a low finish in silver anyway. So I could live with it, but I want to go as far as I can in the cup and do well in the, you know, and do well in the league. By well, if I can finish 8th or 9th, I'll be happy. 9th, I'll take a promotion playoff. But
it's dramatic. It's dramatic. So you're so this is a big season for you. I mean,
it is, yeah.
Yeah, like these two top teams, they got to stay up. They got to stay up.
I knew it would be tough. I don't know, like, I don't know whether it's because I have, you know, pretty strong squad that I always seem to get put in a league with lots of strong teams.
Yeah.
But this season, there's just like silver now. You need like 88 rated legendaries to really do well. But,
that's crazy.
You know, some teams haven't, but now I think my tactics are working.
Yeah.
Let's just see. I hope I'm right. I'm right. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Have you won cups before?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I won a cup in my first season, and then I say, of course, my cup form generally is pretty shocking. But I won the double in my first ever season playing MFL in season 1, and that was Monkey Magic. And then obviously they've got promoted, and then Monkey Vikings last season did the double.
Nice.
And they won the cup. And one of the players that was on my season 1 win from Monkey Magic won the cup last season, Vito Coppola. So a little Italian superstar who's not progressed loads, but he's like plus 10 as a right winger, I think, or something like that. So he's like 69 rated now, but then he comes 79 as a right winger. So yeah.
I'm just having a look at the entire agency now, seeing what
So by this time last season, I was already getting a few +4s and stuff like that overall. And if people look at that, they're probably thinking, "Oh, what's he moaning about progression-wise?" But it's definitely down.
Yeah.
On where it was last season. I 90% sure that they've backweighted the training XP to offset the match XP, because by the end of the season, I think that's happened. But yeah, as Jimbo would say, hashtag Tim4Hats. But yeah.
Yeah.
But it could just be that some of the guys have reached their sort of peaks now. But I have got a lot of younger guys in sort of dev jail, which just aren't getting like the, You know, they're still young. They've got like 3 every season. They're nothing this season.
Oh no! And
They definitely haven't reached prime age. So it does feel like it's back weighted, but you never know. Maybe like back into the season, I will get loads and nothing's changed. And that's just the way, because every player's progression cycle is completely different.
yeah,
So, you know, maybe they just need a bit more XP to sort of move up. But what about
yeah.
you? Because obviously your boy, was it Kocha? No,
Koja, yeah, he's
Kocha.
again. It's sort of suffered the only one plus one this year. General, but I mean, in terms of performance, he's incredible still. So he may not. He's only gone up by one in progression, but I think he scored like 15 goals or something. Top scorer in the league. Yeah,
It's one of those, isn't it? When you get like, because I've had players that have had these sort of like, you know, juicy sort of progression cycles. Then they hit 24 and then it stops. But the fact that
yeah,
he's got one this season, you know, makes me think that maybe he's still got a lot more left in the tank. Because
yeah.
normally they flatline. Like when they reach sort of like 20, when they go into the season where they're 25, they just flatline if they've already reached their prime age. But I think Koja's got a bit more in the tank.
Yeah, and I think he's gone up by shooting as well. So maybe we're gonna have a slow season, and while he's 25, enjoy his mid-20s. Maybe he's partying a bit too much now. The fame's getting to his head, but I think we'll have a word with him when he's 26, 27, get his feet back on the ground, and then maybe see a late bloom.
Maybe he's upset. He's upset that he's not being starring in a documentary anymore.
He
That
might be.
I used to give me all this exposure. Now I have to go out partying to get the same exposure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how my teams are looking. David, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. Always nice to chat with you. Always nice to get to know you more. Have you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to promote?
No, not really. I think if people are listening to you, they're probably aware of the Ramble. If not, go and listen to the MFL
Go
Ramble,
listen to the
or
Ramble.
the Rare Ramble, or the other Ramble that we do.
The ramble that must
Been a
not
little
be
quieter
named.
this week. But we will be back next week as always. But the MFL Ramble is the one that continues through sort of rain or shine generally. You know, I think Hoodwink and Kev and people like that are sort of a lot more, you know, they try and sort of like cajole me into doing them, even if I'm not feeling great. They'll say, "Oh, I've got this guest for this week," and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, done and dusted. All I need to do is set up the, you know, build the graphics and we can go." But
It is a great dynamic. I mean, I remember when I came on, I didn't really know anyone that much then. And I remember just thinking, this works. This is a great dynamic. And I want to get to know them all now individually. And I slowly am. I'm slowly getting you all like individually into shows.
They're really good guys. Hoodwink is just, you know, such a nice guy.
Hoodwink, my bestie.
You know, salt of the earth, you know, just such a nice guy. Kev as well. You know, obviously I've only known him really for sort of a year from doing stuff. But again, like, you know, just salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Hatton as well. You know, they're just such nice guys. I've been, you know, very lucky that, you know, when I started my MFL journey, that they were already in the Ramble Discord and sort of like, you know, we just gelled talking about MFL straight away. And just, you know, great guys. Hoodwink, obviously, you've had on your other show for the Monday show, and Kev, you've got on next Monday as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit, you know,
I've completed the
my brain turns off at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then I'm like zombie on the sofa watching TV.
I think a few people have been like that, and I've moved the recent ones to 8 p.m. just because of that was a common kind of.
I didn't realize it was 8 p.m. I just assumed it was 10 p.m. So normally I just watch them the day after.
Yeah. So there'll be. I think the next week's will be at 8 p.m. with Kev as well. I think I'm going to do them all at 8 p.m. now, and just if there's Monday Night Football, just have it in the background so we can keep an eye on the score. Because you're not the only one, and I'd be the same if I was in that time zone. Like 10 p.m. is time to shut down, time to wind down.
Have you got? I assume you watched the game. What's the coverage like of the Champions League in Mexico? I assume you can still see it all, can you?
Yeah, it's on. I think it's either Disney or HBO, one of the apps. They show every game. The Premier League used to be amazing. Last season, it was all on Paramount Plus, the app, and it costs £3 a month to watch every single. They had every game, even 3 p.m. games. They have them all simultaneously. You just pick what you want to watch. And I was comparing that to like how much I was paying for like Sky Sports and like I think it was BT back in the day when I was in England last. Like, it's just so different. It's also on in the morning as well, which is very nice. It's like you wake up, fire it up. It's like Premier League.
I do quite like that as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I love it when the World Cup's on and it's in a time zone where I can watch it in the morning. Like, you sort of wake up, you turn it on, just have your breakfast. Oh, here we go, a bit of distraction.
Yeah. No, I can't complain with the time zones. It has meant that the evenings, though, I've had to get into new sports or like Mexican football, for example, or like, you know, I've had to be a bit more creative with my evening viewings. But yeah, my wife likes the early times as well, because it used to be in England. When we lived in England, it was like some days if there was a really good game at 5:30 on a Saturday, I wanted to see the 12:30 game as well. She'd be like, oh, when can we go out then? It's evening. And then now it's like,
it breaks the day, doesn't it? Like every Saturday is exactly the same. It's in the UK because they have the early game on at 12:30. Then you have like Sky Sports, like following the games at 3:00. Obviously in the UK you can't see them live, but then they have another one after that. And then last week there's another one after that.
I know, yeah.
So
Last week was.
Like, I'll go out here, and then I'm like, oh no, and then suddenly before you know it, it's like 8:00 in the evening, and I literally haven't left my sofa. But,
I don't miss that. I do quite like it. It ends all like 11 a.m. here or 12. It's finished the Premier League, so you can kind of go like, okay, I'll go outside now. I'll go say hello to people. I'll be a human.
Nice.
But yeah, once again, David, thank you for coming on. You're welcome anytime. You're welcome on the Monday shows. We'd always like to have you again. Good luck with the rambles and good luck with the rest of your MFL season.
Cheers. Thanks very much, mate. And we'll definitely have you back on the ramble without
anytime.
In the not near future, I would imagine. But yeah.
Anytime, David. Thank you for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, go to the MFL Ramble. I'll see you next week on Planet MFL with a different guest. I've got a couple of talks at the moment. Don't know who he's going to be yet, but there'll be a guest on next week as well. So see you next time. Peace.
Bye.